Good morning, everyone. My name is Melanie. Welcome back to A Slice of Heaven Homestead. Today, before I get into the rest of my vlog, I just wanted to give a really big shout out and thank you to a couple of homesteaders. So about 3 weeks ago, I sent off 3 boxes to 3 of my favorite homestead YouTubers. 2 of those families have now received their boxes, and so I just wanted to give a big shout out and a huge thank you to Roots and Refuge and to White House on the Hill. They have received their boxes, and I will put links to their videos where they received their boxes down in the description below. I decided to give them care packages from Japan to thank them for all the inspiration that they have given to me over the years. And just a thank you for allowing me to learn from their experiences and sometimes their mistakes too. We can all learn something no matter how young or old we are. There's always something new to learn. So that's ultimately why I wanted to start this YouTube channel as well, so that I could be there to teach people and to pass on some of my wisdom and probably some of my mistakes as well. I also wanted to update you guys on the property search and where we're at in buying our property in Florida. For those of you who are new to our channel, we have put out an offer on a house in Florida. We found a really awesome piece of property. It's very raw. It's got a house on it and lots of trees, but it's 10 acres. And we want the space, we want the land, and we want to make it our own. So where we're at in that process, we're still going on that. There's just a couple of weeks left until when we're supposed to close on the property. And there's a few more things that need to happen. So right now, it's still a bunch of waiting. But we're getting there. We're getting closer, and the family and I are we're trying to temper our excitement, but we are getting super excited about this. It's something that we've been working on for years. You could almost say decades now. So we are very excited about that. And moving right along from that, I just wanted to show you what's happening in the garden, and I wanted to give you kind of like the lowdown. I've been keeping track of everything that I've purchased this year for my garden since, moving here to Japan. We moved here 2 years ago, and the first year I really didn't have much of a garden. But this year I decided to do as much gardening as I could, just because it makes my heart happy. So I kept track of everything that I bought, the plants, the seeds, the soil, the pots, irrigation, all that stuff. And I've also been keeping track of everything that we have grown and gleaned from this garden and how much it would have cost in the local market here. So I will share with you at the end the tally of those numbers and see where we ended up, if it was beneficial for us or not so great. So enough talk. Let's go look at the garden. Now this year was the very first fall garden that I have ever planted, and so far it's doing great and I'm so excited. Today I've actually got a little bit of harvesting to do, and it's going to be our very first pea harvest for this fall. Do have a bunch of little peas going here, and I'm going to harvest these young so that we can put them in some stir fry. Here I've got almost all of my garlic has come up. I think there's one right here that hasn't yet. Very excited about that. some of my carrots. Now I have 3 buckets of carrots. That first one I started a little bit later than these two, but these are doing so well. Here are my 4 little lettuce starts. 2 there, 2 here. And I do see some aphids, even though I've got this row cover right here. I do see some aphids, and I did spray them down a couple of days ago with some soapy water, but I do notice some still living. So I'll go ahead and spray those again just to make sure that we don't have a huge outbreak of aphids. Now these were my onion bulbs. They're all doing well. And also my bunching onions. Now these behind me are what's left of my yellow pear tomatoes. I had 4 of those this year, and they grew all the way from there over to right here. At its longest point, I think it was about 15 feet. These are pretty much dead now. I still have some green ones and just a few little yellow ones. But I think today I am gonna go ahead and clip those, tear up the roots, and plant something else before the cold weather sets in and I can't make anything else grow. Not quite sure what I'm gonna plant yet. I'll figure it out. Now I've mentioned once or twice before that I have never had success with eggplants or peppers, and this year they have just been absolutely amazing. We've already harvested about 20 eggplants, and I've got about 15 or 20 more still on there. Same with the peppers. So this year has just been an amazing year for eggplants and peppers. Now there are a couple of eggplants here at the very bottom that are just in the right pecking distance for the crows around here. So they've been kind of demolished. I just left them on the plants kind of as an offering, saying, you know, peck these ones, the ones that are already destroyed, leave my other ones alone. Now these are Japanese eggplants. They kind of grow to look like a zucchini or a yellow squash, not the typical pear-shaped eggplants that I was used to back in the US. So this is just the right size. You want to harvest your eggplants when there's still a little bit of give to it. You want it to feel slightly squishy. If it gets really, really hard, it's probably gone to seed and it's no longer good. This is perfect. Now the peppers that we were getting earlier in the season in the summertime were all fairly small, kind of like this, but they have since really bulked up. The newer generation of peppers here is a lot bigger than the other ones, and I think they just like the cooler weather. We're in zone 9 here in Japan. And it does get really, really hot and humid in the summertime. We'll go ahead and harvest some of these. And look at all those new blooms. The good thing about peppers is that they can be harvested anytime. So even if these don't make it to full size, we can still harvest and eat them before the frost. It feels so good to harvest your own food. Now because of our amazing abundance of eggplant over the last month or so, I am going to put out a video on eggplant lasagna here in the next week or so. So be sure to look for that. So after I took that last harvest in, I tallied up all of my stuff. Now this is a list that I've been keeping all summer long. Like I said, I started with adding up all of the initial costs. So the pots, the irrigation, the pieces for the trellising behind me, soil, fertilizer, all that stuff. Plants, seedlings, seeds. So that cost, that first initial cost, came out to be about $130. 124 of that is reusable. So I won't have to buy those things ever again. I can just keep reusing those. So the grand total for the amount of vegetables that we were able to grow in our summer garden came out to be about $283 worth of vegetables. Minus the upfront cost of $130, about $153 of those dollars for vegetables was pure profit, above and beyond what I paid for to put this garden in. So I think it was completely worth it. Not to mention, you know, I love gardening, and it kind of calms me down from a hard day, and that's priceless to me. So overall, we did great. It was a great experiment. I'm glad I kept track of stuff so that I could see just how much value my garden has for us, not just in dollars. Like I say, there's other values to it, but okay, as far as dollars go, it was worth it. That just goes to show you that anybody can grow stuff. We've got about 30 square feet of growing, and it's mostly in these little grow pots. Anybody can grow stuff, even if you just got a little tiny porch space. Just try and grow something. Now, for all of you who are just now joining us today, I want to say thank you, and I hope you'll stick around for this journey. It's going to be an amazing one, I think. Spread a little kindness and encourage one another today. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and until next time, we hope you find your slice of heaven too.